Kalonzo Stephen Musyoka has recognized William Samoei Ruto as President of Kenya. What is happening? What does this mean? I have received emails, people asking me directly, Chris, what does this mean? And of course these people are not happy. Somebody even called me, Chris, what is this? Kalonzo Musyoka has recognized Ruto as president. Now of course if you're a visitor to Kenya, you may wonder what we're talking about. I'm sure you're not lost. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what is upsetting people so much. Because accepting Ruto as president means audit of the 2022 presidential elections, kwisha maneno. Opening the servers, kwisha maneno. Isn't that what it means? And I've also received some very interesting responses from other analysts. They have told me, Chris, Kalonzo anatafuta job. Ana job, anatafuta job kwa Ruto, serikali. That is all it is. Don't make too much out of it. Well, on my show today, we're going to break down this latest development till we totally understand what is going on. But before that, please allow me to share a story about myself. A few moments ago, I spoke to a young man who, as it turns out, is the son of a man who I knew very well, one of my mentors many years ago, almost 3 decades ago. And we had a very long chat, which although I enjoyed, brought memories flooding back into my mind. Now I'm very glad I had that conversation, because a bird has been whispering to my ears, Chris, why don't you just go for views and revenue? Forget this better Kenya manenos. A bird has been whispering to my ears, make very shallow videos, go for views, get revenues up. After all, times are hard. But the conversation with this young man helped me a great deal, because it brought into focus the reason why I'm here, the reason why I'm doing this channel, which is much bigger than myself. And therefore I'd like to dedicate this show specifically to all those many young people of Kenya, the future of our country, who take in this channel. Maybe they have not commented much, maybe they comment once in a while, but they have always been faithful followers of this channel. And according to this young man, I have impacted their lives somehow. You know, something else that he made me realize is that there are many young people who cannot afford our weekly intelligence briefings. And therefore, as part of this dedication, I've decided for the next 48 hours only, we will create a special offer only for the young people of Kenya, those who are under 35 years old. If your ID proves that, you will be able to get a full year subscription to my weekly intelligence briefings for only, wait for this one, $3.99 or Kenya shillings 399. You can see details on your screen. This offer is strictly for the young people of Kenya, the very people very special to me, because they are the future. They are the ones we should mentor, to carry this country to a better Kenyan future. In case those of us who are at the forefront grow a bit weak and slow in fighting for a better Kenya. I want all you guys to feel very special, as very special members of this channel. I want you guys to be recognized as key and extremely important. Hence this crazy offer that any accountant will tell you I'm out of my mind. So please grab this opportunity, only Kenya shillings 399, and pop, you'll have a whole year subscription to my weekly intelligence briefings. Who knows what will happen after a year? After a year, many of you, your circumstances will be much better. Yeah? To put it in the Kenyan way, mtakuwa mkikohoa na watu wana notice. Let it be so. Right, let's continue with our show today. Now let's start with the bad news. Okay? The bad news is that we have entered a period in Kenyan political history, and I've mentioned this in countless videos before, where anything can happen. Regulars on this channel will also remember that I mentioned that we should expect even bigger, very big name defections to UDA and Kenya Kwanza. And actually that is rather obvious. Times are hard. And when times are hard is when you get to know the true character of people. That's how this life is. Now the good news. The good news is that the march to a new Kenya, the march to a new, better Kenya is unstoppable. It does not matter if Azimio give up today. It does not matter if Raila Odinga gives up today. That march is unstoppable. It cannot be stopped by anybody. Okay? And let me just give you one piece of evidence, just one, not two. Okay? I don't know if you've been following events unfolding in another African country called Niger, or Niger. Some of us pronounce it like that. Where there was a coup, some months back. The most recent one was Gabon. Niger came much earlier. Now in that country, they have asked the French ambassador to leave. But the French have arrogantly told the Niger government, military government, that they will not budge. And they're stuck in the embassy. And therefore there's a lot of drama developing around there. The latest is that the Wananchi, the people of the country themselves, have come out and they have said they're going to do an endless sit-in until the French ambassador leaves. My point is, the spirit flowing, hovering around Africa now is not conducive to dictators. It's not. It is not conducive to tumbocrats. People who are just interested in a position, a job, etc., etc. Mark my words. So take heart. Now this Kalonzo Musyoka business really should not surprise anybody, because on this channel we always talk about the character of a man. Do I need to remind you of the drama before the 2022 presidential elections, where at one point Kalonzo Musyoka said Raila Odinga should be his running mate, is expecting Raila Odinga to be his running mate? Where at one point people strongly believed that Kalonzo Musyoka would cross over to the Ruto side? Do I need to remind you about that? You see now what has happened is that the pressure is mounting, and therefore you expect that some people will crack. I'm not saying Kalonzo Musyoka has cracked. I'm not saying anything. I'm just pointing to the past so that we understand the present. Because the character of a person does not change, will never change. They always remain the same. Now of course Kalonzo Musyoka is representing Azimio. And we would assume that he's taking instructions from Azimio. And therefore it has been the assumption of many Kenyans that what he is saying is what Azimio are saying. Now my advice is, hold your horses. This is still not clear. Okay? Even if he said that, these are people on the negotiation table. And usually on the negotiation table, there's a lot of give and take. Although, in the minds of many Kenyans, what Kalonzo Musyoka said should never have been said. Yeah, because it even means, what are the negotiations about? Yeah, if he uttered such a statement, if he said those words, what point is there in continuing with the negotiations? What are they negotiating about? That is the feeling of the vast majority of Kenyans. And indeed it is clear the vast majority of Kenyans did not vote for this government. Bottom line, it is still a little early to make sweeping statements, but we should be aware that the character of people does not change. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.